Well, welcome everybody, man. Like this is actually my first time doing something like this, man. And I hope that this goes well, Nick. I'm telling you, like I really do. But I need everybody first and foremost to give my guy a round of applause. You can do a quiet round of applause or whatever it may be, but give my guy a big applause.
I want a loud one.
You know what? He deserves a loud one. Give him a loud round of applause or whatever it may be. But look, guys, look. Again, this is your boy Snipes, man. Thank you guys so much for being here for my very first interview. And listen, we got the one and only, the ever popular Nick Mizesko. This is the man, the myth, the legend, the voice of the MCS. Welcome, Nick. Good to see you, my friend.
A pleasure as always, my friend. I feel honored to be the first interview guest. I promise not to say anything too controversial, unless that's what you're looking for, in which case I'll only be controversial.
Well, let me tell you something. We could be as controversial as we want here, because this is about obviously you. And then also, what's going on with the MCS. We'll kind of discuss that a little bit and everything for a lot of the noobs out there and everything in just a moment. But I just want to put this out there and kind of let you know as well too. I wanted to do an interview with you because myself as a commentator, for a lot of the guys that tune into me and I do their leagues and everything else. I need people to understand, like, kinda in a nutshell, where I get some of my excitement from. And I've been watching you for quite some time, and and you get really excited as well too, in the MCS field of things. And it kind of gets my juices flowing and everything as well too. And I put it out all on the line pretty much. To try to do my best at what you do out there, because man, you got thousands tuning into you, my friend, thousands. Okay. And hundreds of thousands. So a lot of people in the MCS community know you, but for, what I want you to do actually here is just give us a little bit of a background, in your esport commentating and how long you've been involved in the Madden scene.
Sure. I've been playing Madden. I think my first Madden was Madden 07. But probably playing Madden consistently since about Madden 16. Got involved with esports commentating. I joined a CFM called the Madden Bomber League, and joined them because they were doing broadcasts, and I was interested in broadcasting, so I happened to be a part of one of their broadcasts, and then happened to work my way up to becoming the network director. Ran the NBL network for 4 years, and then stemming from that, ended up getting a really cool opportunity. EA held a contest back in Madden 19 called the Shoutcaster Showdown, where they were looking for more casters, and I was one of the 3 that got selected to go out to San Francisco and work on the Madden 19 Club Championships. Yeah. And since then I've worked for EA, and if there's been a Madden gig, I've probably been on it. I've done work for EA. I've done work for Players Lounge. I've done work for, obviously, Mudhead and Friday Night Football, where I'm the community manager. I've kind of been all around. I've been doing commentating full time since 2019. So what, 4 full years about at this point?
Hey, that's awesome, man. That's freaking incredible, man. And I'm trying to get where you at. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I know I gotta, go my other, go another lane, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get where you're at, man. I'm trying to be more of a voice of the, of the CFM community. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out there that attempt to do what we do and everything else. And can you put it out there to everybody right now? Is it difficult to commentate a Madden game?
I think anything is difficult if you're getting paid for it. Here's the, they don't pay people to do easy things, honestly.
Yeah.
Like nobody gets. I mean, at the end of the day, you can talk about any job being easy, but if somebody's willing to give you money, it's because it's hard enough that they can't do it themselves. So yeah, I mean, every Madden game I do involves a lot of preparation, a lot of rehearsal, a lot of work, not just in terms of work directly before the show where we're doing, stats prep and getting ready to call a game, but also the entirety of the body of work over the last 7 years of me doing commentary and 4 years doing it professionally is that all builds up. At the end of the day, the reason why insert whichever basketball player you think is really good, I'll say LeBron James. The reason why LeBron James is really good isn't because he went to practice the day before, it's because he's practiced for 28 years. Like that's how it works. So yeah, I think the answer, I think the best way I can put it, and I think you know it as well as anybody, there's a lot of people that can sit there and say it's easy, but there's not a lot of people out here doing it for real. And I think everybody, I'm not going to say any names because I just don't think it matters, but I think everybody who has ever watched an esports broadcast, a sports broadcast, a broadcast where there's a commentator, has seen bad commentary. And at the end of the day, that shows you that it's not easy.
I agree with that 1,000%, man. I agree with that 1,000%. I think that, for people out there that really think it's easy, I'm telling you, you're sadly mistaken. It really isn't. There's a lot of prep to it. There's a lot of things that you have to do, to prep yourself because, and most importantly is, you have to bring a lot of energy as well too. So I'm glad that you said that, man. I'm glad that you said that. That's so enlightening to just to see somebody that's doing something that I'm doing as well too. That is something that I love to do is it's kind of doing the same things. It's really, like you said, practicing and everything else, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely loving what you said there. So, all right. So the big topic here, because you got, obviously you're a part of EA, and obviously, as I told you off air as well, if you can't talk about it, you just tell me you can't talk about it, and we keep it pushing, because there's no way. If I
had secret info, I would hide it, but they don't tell me that much.
I'm just gonna, put some, couple questions out there. Not gonna go too crazy about it or whatever it may be, but for all the MCS noobs out there, okay, that are basically looking into possible competitive Madden, because there's a lot of guys that really want to get into the competitive Madden scene. Can you elaborate a little on what the MCS is and what the history is and what it takes to be successful in the MCS season?
Sure. So the MCS, the Madden Championship Series, is the highest level of competitive Madden. It is put on by EA. It's competitive Madden has been around for ages.
Yes.
You talk about going back to the early 2000s, where every tournament was you had to travel around in a car to in-person events and play LAN events as you got into the mid 2000s and late 2000s. But the MCS has been around since Madden 15. It runs 4 majors a year. So, and again, this is all going off of last year's data, because they haven't yet come out with the schedule this year, nor do I even know what that schedule is. But last year, the 4 majors were the Ultimate Kickoff, the Ultimate Thanksgiving, the Ultimate Wildcard, and the Ultimate Madden Bowl. 4 majors a year, all on Madden Ultimate Team game mode, all with online qualifiers. Top 8 make it to the live event. And last year, prize pools were around $1.8 million total. Wow. Between the 4 tournaments. So a lot of money given out.
Yes.
I mean, again, you talk about some of the, if you've ever watched competitive Madden, if you haven't watched competitive Madden, you're where I was when I started in competitive Madden. I had never watched competitive Madden before I did a gig. Before I got my gig at the Madden 19 Club Championships, I was a CFM guy, so I didn't know who these guys were. But obviously, I've been in the sphere for a long time. And you talk about some of the biggest names. Obviously, Henry out there right now.
Yeah.
Dez were 2 of the biggest names from last year. Dez winning the Madden Bowl. Henry, the highest all-time earner in MCS history. Yeah. Up over $800,000 career earnings before he's 20.
Wow.
But there's so many great names. 3-time belt winner Skimbo. Obviously, if you're a content guy,
yep.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dubby. He's got a belt back in Madden 17. Yeah. A lot of great names out there. Obviously, if you go around the sphere, you'll see guys who encapsulate the history of the MCS. As to what it takes to be successful in MCS season, no matter what any hater says, I've seen it all. Everybody runs the same meta. Everybody runs the same. Here's the thing. By the way, and I love pointing this out, y'all know what meta means, right? It means most effective tactic available. Like it's just like gamers have given it a bad name, but it literally just means like the most effective tactic.
Yep.
Here's at the end of the day, the best players in the world, the guys who I've seen win hundreds of $1,000s, win belts. What's the one thing they all have in common? They play this game nonstop.
Yes.
They play it nonstop. They ingest it nonstop. When they're not playing, they're watching their friends play. They've got their crew together, playing with their crew. They're watching other guys on Twitch and learning what they're doing. At the end of the day, you can talk all about dollars and cents and buying a team. And yes, I in general, because it's on Madden Ultimate Team, you do have to have a good team. Like, there's just, if you can win it on no money spent, please do it, because it would give me the best talking points ever on a broadcast. But at the end of the day, more than anything, these guys spend 8 to 12 hours a day just on the game grinding, and that's all it is. You're obviously, I think, in my opinion, if you're gonna have your best chance of winning, it's gonna be in that first tournament, whatever the first tournament is, because the game is so new. Guys haven't spent hundreds of hours on it. So if you can get that game and play it a ton in the first 3 weeks and get into qualifiers and win your qualifiers, you got a great shot. But more than anything, it's all about grind. It's all about getting time in, getting time on the game, getting that muscle memory down. And beyond that, there is some level of innate talent. I mean, at the end of the day, LeBron James wouldn't be the best basketball player of all time. I'll say it right now. He's the GOAT. He wouldn't be the GOAT if he wasn't also as big and strong as he is. Like, at the end of the day, 5'9" Nick Mizesko probably wasn't going to become the best basketball player of all time. There is innate skill and talent involved, and guys have it. But like, if you are passionate about it and you want to win money, play in the qualifiers, play the game a lot, get into a lot of these side tournaments. There's a lot of companies putting on $500,000 tournaments. Nothing will beat playing tournaments for money. At the end of the day, if there's a money prize on the line, you have to get in that, because there's nothing like sitting down and putting the control in your hands. I don't care how much fun you have playing Madden. When you know that this game is worth $1,000, there's a different level of pressure.
Oh man, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm glad you said that, because I was about to say that. So thank you for saying that, Nick, because I'm telling you, it's, you know, people don't understand. You know, we have the conversation, you know, a lot of times with guys that are in like in our Madden Underground, you know, CFM and everything. We have these conversations in our podcast and things like that, where we kind of let people know that, you know, and you brought up an absolute fantastic point, is the fact that these other, you know, not just obviously the EA MCS, but there's so many side quest missions that you could go and try to get money from, because at the bottom line, as you stated, only 8 people are going to get paid. Yeah. You know what I mean? What, you know, out of thousands that are trying to, you know, trying to qualify for these things. So, you know, it's important for people that haven't been a part of, you know, of that type of atmosphere, a tournament atmosphere, or, you know what I mean? Even if you can't find yourself a tournament, there's CFMs out there as well too, that have, you know, no rules basically, that can get you a little bit of burn, you know what I mean, to, you know, to get things figured out. And then once you get into, you know, because they're both, you know, CFM and MUT, obviously two different you know, it's night and day. But at the same token, the bottom line is you're still getting that burn in the game of Madden, and it helps you, you know, those tough CFM leagues definitely help you in the, you know, playing MUT as well too, against real competitive players. Do you agree with that as well?
Reps are reps, man. Obviously, like, I think you have to master MUT and what the MUT game mode gives you, because obviously, you know, teams that are built through MUT play different than CFM teams, mostly because a lot of them, maybe you're on the sim game mode versus the competitive. Maybe you're on competitive, but you're playing with guys who, you know, if you get a team like the Texans, you got a lot of 75s out there. You're probably not playing with 75s on your MUT team. But reps are reps. High pressure Madden matters, and at the end of the day, if you can find a way to get high pressure reps, then that's going to benefit you more than anything else. I think the best Madden players in the world don't just play one thing. They don't play one person. They don't play one style. They don't play just one thing. They play everything. They're in CFMs. They're in playing, you know, your MUT, whatever fake weekend league that is now MUT champions. They're playing, you know, they're playing MUT games against their friends. They're playing everything. They're in practice mode. That's what matters. Yeah, indeed. So you know, kind of, you know what, I'm
I'm gonna skip that because I obviously sent you the notes. I'm gonna skip the second question for right now. I'm gonna go right to the third question because it kind of ties into what we're talking about here right now. So this past MCS season, okay, you crowned a new champ by the name of Dez, and we all know Dez even in the CFM world as well too. Big shout out to Dez. In a year that for the first time to me wasn't so top heavy. How refreshing was that to you? To have new blood on the championship scene.
I think new blood is great. And I think we have probably the deepest young talent pool we've ever seen in the MCS.
Yeah.
You also got to remember that this group of the MCS players that are coming up right now came up in a very different time of Madden. They came up during the pandemic when everything was online.
Yes.
And the MCS has catered a little bit to that because all the qualifiers are online. You only have to make top 8, but you got to play online in the comfort of your house.
Yeah.
We've only had one live tournament since then. It was the Madden Bowl.
Yeah.
Everything else was remote. So I'll be interested to see this year. I hope. I'm talking to my bosses. Hey, if you're watching this, can we get in-person Madden for all 4 tournaments? But if we get, in-person Madden back as a regular thing, I'll be interested to see who is successful at that, because at the end of the day, like Dez had to beat Henry. Henry's in-person record is not good. Don't forget, Henry is the GOAT right now. I mean, he's got 5.
Yeah,
he's got enough belts.
5 belts.
To fill up a case.
Yeah.
But do not forget, he has never won a belt in person. All of his belts were online. He has never won a belt in person. In fact, before we went to the pandemic, if you look back at his Madden 20, which again, I also realized he was 16 years old then.
Yeah.
But he had sort of a reputation of going out earlier than he should have, apart from the Madden Classic, which he made it all the way to the final, lost Series Mo. There's this group, I think these guys are going to have to learn how to play in person because it is different. I'm interested to see if we continue in the studio atmosphere, because the studio atmosphere is different than, listen, going back to Pavin winning that clubs back in 19, that was not it. Like, it was a studio, but it was really the gym. For those who don't know, that was when they were building the studio at Redwood City, so they didn't have it ready for the club championship. So they literally outfitted the basketball gym that was there with the equipment to put it on. So the players' lounge was like less than 20 feet from where the stage was, so everybody could hear everybody. It was a live atmosphere. And I think that's where I'm interested to see this young group of players grow and evolve is who's going to be the goons in person. We just had Jump Off 2 in Vegas. And we saw a guy win that. I mean, the top player from the from the race side was Bugs. He was an old head and has played Madden in person, grew up playing Madden in person. I mean, that sort of stuff is interesting as we see it. But I think this is as deep as we get. You're seeing more and more young players play Madden because it's all online. They don't have to worry about getting places. If you don't have to travel, you don't have to find out from your mom if you can travel that weekend. You don't have to get a ride that weekend. You can play at 16 years old, and you can play from the comfort of your own home. So, there's a lot of young players, and there's also a lot of sort of that next, not like the super young, like the 16, 17-year-olds. There's a lot of 18, 19-year-olds we're learning a lot about now, especially in late Madden season, that I'm interested to see if they can take that next step next year. For some of the guys that made 1 tournament last year, can they make 2 next year? I think it's a fun time to watch competitive Madden. And I think if you're a person who is like myself, who didn't watch competitive Madden and got into it late and had to learn about it, I will continue to fight the fight. I'm not sure if it's a winnable fight, but I will fight the fight. CFM players and MUT players can coexist, and neither affects the other side. You can hear all the time, well, if we, they're putting all their time into MUT and they're not putting into CFM. Okay. CFM players have to buy the game one time. Like, MUT players are constantly putting money in. Yeah, they're going to get a little more attention, but that's okay. We can all play the game. It's okay. I know everybody wants a CFM that's updated every week. It's not going to happen. Sorry. But we are getting more updates than we were in the past. But again, it's just back to, I as a person who came from CFM playing a certain way, love watching competitive Madden, and I've learned what that's like, and I've learned the intricacies of it. And when you go past the surface, which everyone knows what that surface is.
Yeah.
These guys all call the same plays. The fourth, they have 3 plays they call over and over. I can do that. Well, if you could, why aren't you winning $800,000? Oh, right, because they're actually not calling 3 plays. They're calling 3 plays with an average of 4 to 5 adjustments per play, which makes every play looks differently. And you go defensively, it's a totally different scheme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give it a chance. Go watch it. Try to watch it for what they're doing, not what you think they're doing.
Yes.
And vice versa. I think MUT players should play CFM because I think CFM's a really fun mode. If you can get into it, it's why you're seeing competitive CFMs really take off.
Yeah.
Because people are getting into it and they're like, damn, this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun playing on a week-to-week basis. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, we can all coexist. Everyone can be happy.
Absolutely. I agree, man.
Except superstar KO players. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Now, let me tell you, I'm so happy that you brought that up though too, because that part right there where you get a lot of people that will say, this isn't sim or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their different meaning of sim Madden and things like that. You know what I mean?
I hate that word. I hate it. I hate that word. I hate that word. I think we should punt it out of the dictionary. Because here's the thing. Sim on the CFM side is only used by people who want to be dicks about it being sim. Well, we play sim and you don't play sim. Oh, you're playing not simulation style? How dare you defile the good name of football? And on the other side, it's used as sim is code for crazy. Oh, you play sim? Okay, well, get back to the loony bin for you. You play a weird way. Can we just boot it out of the system? Like, it doesn't... Sim means nothing. How about this? Sim means something different to everybody, so it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. What my league, the MPL, our sim got called the Dead Sea Scroll of Rules. We had a 30-page rule book because we played a very specific way.
Right.
It did not work for everybody. W joined the MBL back in like Madden 18 and was here for a week and was like, this is awful. I can't do this. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the great part about CFM.
Yeah.
Create your own rules and do your own thing. But let's just get rid of the word sim because it means nothing.
You know what? I never thought of it like that. I really didn't. I never ever thought of it like that. And I'm glad that you brought it up like that because you're absolutely right. I really feel like we should probably get rid of the word sim. The bottom line is, look, if your league has certain rules, your league goes by those rules. That's what it is. But you know what I mean. And if people don't like your particular set of rules,
go find another one.
Then they find a different. They find a different league.
Or start their own. It's awesome. Yeah, that's the great part about CFM.
I really do.
If you don't like how the MCS is played, you have to play that way because that's the only MCS there is. That's the only competitive there is. Yeah. CFM, you could have a CFM with every rule that you can think of. I've seen every rule. I've seen no switch leagues, which I think are stupid, but hey, other people love them. I don't play in no switch leagues. Other people play in no switch leagues. Yeah. It's great. That's the great part about CFM. Just play however you want to play. Yeah. I do agree in regards to that for sure. Now we talked in the past about the days of CFM. So how are you knee deep into the depths of like team building, team managing, etc. And then do you think that any of these Madden pros, as we just discussed a second ago, that are deep into the MCS scene can be successful in the CFM scene as well? MBL, we were in the weeds. I mean, we did drafts, we did everything. I mean, everything. Scouting, free agency, like we were in the weeds. And I don't know if you remember Madden 18, 19, and 20, like the Saints were unusable, or the Vikings were unusable. The Vikings were unusable because their cap was so bad. Like their cap was destroyed, and that was just something you had to deal with. And
I had the Saints in Madden 19 in our Madden Underground League, and it was
it's brutal.
It was cap hell. It was cap hell, no doubt.
Our league had rules on who you could cut and how you could cut them and what overalls you could cut, so it made it even harder. So we were deep into it, and I still love that part, and I'm excited to do it again next year. Do I think a Madden Pro can be successful in a CFM? Well, first of all, no matter how much we want to build up CFM as being more than it is, 70% of a Madden CFM is still gameplay. Like, it is still, you got to go play your games. I love the team building. I think it's fun. But is she still crying, by the way? Or is she just hanging out? Okay, doesn't sound like she's crying. My buddy just walked in. I left my daughter in her little standard to play, and she was not happy when I left. But apparently she's fine, so hell yeah.
Okay.
Rock and roll. Dad interruption.
Now you good.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's life, baby. It's all good.
I'm like, she's secured, she's got food, she's happy.
Hey, that's
and then
it.
she was like unhappy. I'm like, well, sorry. But 70% of CFM is still gameplay. You got to go play your games. At the end of the day, there just aren't that many. Like, let's be honest. Can we just use this like as a true sim CFM doesn't play any games. You just simulate. It's just a simulated CFM. And I've seen that stuff. It's actually like I've been where guys will actually wager on it. They will like build a team and then sim half the season, change the depth chart, sim half the season, get to the playoffs, and then see if their team wins. Like, it's kind of interesting. So could a Madden Pro be successful in CFM? Absolutely, because they are better at the game than anybody else. That's why they're professional. It's like kind of like saying, like, do you think LeBron James could be really good in a high school basketball league? Well, yeah,
yes.
Like, he'd be really good.
Yeah.
Even though the high school league has some different rules and stuff, he would find a way to be good. Now, it would depend on, obviously, like, if you went, could they be successful in a CFM, a multi-year CFM, multi-user league? Yes, with a caveat. And that caveat is it depends on the rule set they play with. If you put them in a box of constraints where, you have like the rules that we had in the NBL, no, I don't think so, because I think they'd quit before they do that. They probably wouldn't have fun playing that way.
Exactly.
In the same way that I think there are a lot of hardcore CFM guys that would not have fun playing in the MCS. Like, they wouldn't have fun spending money on an Ultimate Team and getting good at Ultimate Team. They have more fun playing CFM.
Yeah.
And that's the part I love about CFM is you have guys that are like, we had a guy in our league who played every year for 4 years in the NBL. Didn't win over 100 games over those 4 years. We played 7 seasons a cycle. So it was like over 35 seasons, didn't win 100 games. Won 3 to 4 games a year if he was lucky.
Wow.
But he kept playing it because he liked playing CFM. Like, he liked the team building and all that. If you're Madden Pro and you don't like the team building, like, that's why if you look at all the competitive CFMs, most of them are 1-year CFMs. They just play a year where they have to build their team and do trades and stuff, but they don't have to do off-season, they don't have to do drafting, they don't have to do that stuff. That's where I think there's a knowledge base that if you're not in CFM and you're not studying, what the different scouting things mean and what the different coordinator trees do and all this stuff, like, you're probably going to be at a disadvantage that way. Now, they're still going to win a lot of games because they can play. If you put gameplay rules on, that lowers their chances even more. So it all depends. But could they be successful? Absolutely, because at the end of the day, it's still playing Madden, and they're very good at playing Madden. Yeah,
that I do agree with that 100% as well too. I think that those particular guys, just because of their skill set alone, if they didn't touch their teams at all or do a trade or anything like that, just because of the skill set alone, they're probably playoff teams in most CFMs.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you put Henry in a CFM and gave him whatever the worst team is this year, my guess is probably the Texans. Right. I'm sorry. I'm a CJ Stroud guy. I'm an Ohio State guy. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be that bad, only because they still will have Kyler Murray on the roster. He's just hurt.
Right. He's just hurt. Right,
I think the Texans are very bad.
Yeah.
If you gave Henry the Texans and put him in a CFM with average CFM users, I still think he probably wins every game he plays.
He probably will.
Now, if you put a bunch of gameplay rules on it and tell him not to do this and tell him this is like, he's gonna struggle more and he's probably not gonna play much more. But if it's just like a straight up no rules league, obviously I think they're gonna do fine. But the more constraints you put on there, the more you favor it towards CFM players, because the CFM space is a knowledge base that we don't know. In the same way that, like, if you have a better chance of playing Henry one-on-one in a regs game than you do have him playing one-on-one in MUT. He knows more about MUT. He knows how MUT works. He has his MUT team. Whereas in regs, like, it does play a little bit different. He's still going to win by 40. I don't care who you are. Sorry. I've seen all the CFM guys. I've played with a lot of them. Henry still beats you all by a lot. No matter how much the YouTube comments sit there and go, I could beat Henry. I could keep it within a touch. No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't.
You got to get.
I don't care. I asked user. I said, user, if right now I played Henry one-on-one in regs, but I got to pick his team and I got to pick his playbook, so he had no advantage. Like, I could put him in the worst playbook with the Texans. What's the line? And he said Henry by 30. And I went, damn, I don't even get like 4 touchdowns. Like, it's 30? Like 30? But he's right. He would still smoke me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, because
the only way I survive that game is if it's 2-minute quarters, I get the ball first and I can take 4 knees and then punt the ball. Because I can probably keep within 21 in a 2-minute quarter game.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Like I said, I do agree though that that they, you know, they'll be extremely successful, I think, still in a lot of CFMs. I mean, like you said though, even if they're bottled up though a little bit, you know, with play calling and things like that, then I think that it might be a little bit of a different story. But again, like you said, it wouldn't even get to that level too quick, because I mean too late, just because of the fact that they'd probably quit. You know what I mean? They'd probably be like, nah, I can't play like this. No way.
The best analogy I can come up with would be, I guess the best analogy I can think of would be like, do you think a professional golfer would be really good in the professional putt-putt tournament? I mean, yes, like, it is still golf.
Yeah, it's still golf,
and
right.
They still know how to putt. But as anybody who's ever been to a putt-putt course, they're built on concrete and they have windmills. Like, would they be as good as somebody who plays at that course 100 times a day? No.
Right.
They're still very good, but that person is going to have an advantage. And if you sit there and you go, well, you know, you're only allowed to, if you don't get it through the windmill on the first shot, you take a 2-stroke pass. Yeah, the more constraints you put on Tiger Woods, the worse he's going to be. But at its base, yeah, they're still going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. In the same way that, like, you see NFL players past their prime go to the XFL or to go to arena football all the time.
Yeah.
They're not usually the best players on the field, because it turns out arena football is just a very different game.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
50 yards and there's walls. Like, good luck. It's just different. But, you know, if Tom Brady in his prime went there, he'd probably still be pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It'd still be fun.
All right. So look, you know, and again, for everybody that's just tuning in, this is EA Madden MCS lead commentator Nick Mizesko. This is a you know, an incredible guy and really good guy, man. You know, I mean, I found out maybe a couple of months ago that we live in the same state, and I had no idea.
Not too far away.
Yeah. And not too far away. Yeah,
it's hot.
Man. It's hot. You know what? That could be a whole other podcast. But anyway,
welcome to the Arizona podcast. It's 112.
I'm telling you.
And the grasshoppers are going crazy.
Oh my gosh, it's so nuts out here. Let me tell you. But you know, so look. So the last question I have. Obviously, we got a brand new game getting ready to come out. All right. Yeah. You know, I mean, we got Madden 24 coming out. You know, next month, June. We will, you know, we're going to have a lot of information in regards to it, including and most importantly, a beta. So, you know what I mean? And first off, how excited are you for the beta?
That wasn't sneaky at all. I can still see you. He's right there. He's right there. He tiptoe, but there's a big gap in the camera over there. So he just crouched walking through anyways.
No, you're good. You're good.
How excited am I for the beta?
Yeah.
Always. I think it's the best time of year. Yeah. I mean, the second best time of year. The best time of year is launch, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
But beta season is just where you start getting that taste of new Madden. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love beta time.
Oh, yeah, indeed. So here's the big question that a lot of people, you know, are probably, you know, going to be paying attention to, you know, within this broadcast, within this broadcast stream, what have you. So to you, what would be the benefits of crossplay if it happens? Okay. And then on top of that, do you think it is going to be in franchise mode? We know that other EA titles like NHL and FIFA, they do have crossplay, but it's not in their if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not in their actual you know, seasons or franchise modes that they have. but it is in like the MUT type of modes,
Correct.
FUT, things like that.
As far as I know.
Yeah. As far as we know.
I haven't played NHL franchise in a long time.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not even sure if they do online franchise in NHL anymore. I used to run a NHL franchise. Like, we had 32 people or 30 people at that time.
Yeah.
In an NHL franchise league. Super fun. I had a blast with it. So, do I think it'll be in CFM? I have no clue. Couldn't even tell you. They don't tell me that.
Okay.
Do I think it'll be there? I think it's a 50-50 shot. If they're bringing it into Madden, there's a shot that it'll be in there, but also realize that, like, franchise matchmaking is different from MUT matchmaking because you're all housed on one individual server. Like, it's just a different thing. So I could see, like, I legit... Yes or no, depending on how the coin flipped. I have no clue. But if the rumors are true that it is coming to crossplay, what are the benefits? Here's the first thing. If crossplay does come to CFM, I think it boosts the profile of multi-user CFMs.
Yes.
It becomes much more easy to play in a multi-user league when you aren't console locked.
Yeah.
It's just better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I can't tell you the number of times that we were running NBL and you have somebody come to chat, hey, I'd love to play, but I'm on PS5. Like, are you guys going to get a PS5 league? No, we have 2 Xbox leagues.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I think crossplay is great, and not having to gate it would be great. Benefits outside of that, obviously, I mean, I don't know. And here's why I say I don't know. Because it all depends on the functionality of it. If it is a functional crossplay that gets rid of, like, for example, if this is some major back-end work that eliminates east-west lag and makes things just better from a player health standpoint.
Yes.
It's great for everybody. If it's just sort of more of the same, I don't know what the benefit is. I think at the end of the day, I guess PC users get a boost in the MCS. Like, at the end of the day, there was already a PS4 and an Xbox tournament. Yeah. So it wasn't like there was a console not getting what they wanted. Like, they each had their own consoles. In fact, for the first time in the history of the MCS, the Madden Bowl final was played on PlayStation. Because Sony sponsored the Madden Bowl. Yeah. It was always on Xbox. They played it on PlayStation. Yeah, which was cool.
You know what? I mentioned that to a couple of my guys that you guys realize that they played the Madden Bowl on PlayStation. It was sponsored by PlayStation, and they played it on PlayStation. So that Madden Bowl, obviously everybody was there, was live. So everybody that was there was playing on a PlayStation controller, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yep. It was all on PlayStation all the time. Okay. So yeah, I think crossplay. I mean, again, I think crossplay has bigger implications for the CFM crowd than it does for the MUT crowd.
Yeah.
And again, it's all depending on what console things are played on and all that. But, like, at the end of the day, like, it's just they've already had Xbox and PlayStation. Here's where it's great for. Ready for this? This is where I tell you it's great for.
Okay.
Every underground tournament. For example, Friday Night Football. I run Friday Night Football. We are Xbox only.
Yeah.
Players Lounge was Xbox one night, PlayStation one night. I've seen, like, lobby up stuff being console locked. When you unlock the consoles, it opens up the tournaments. It means more tournaments get filled. It means more people get a chance to play. That's where it's beneficial. Yeah. I don't know if it benefits the MCS a whole lot. I think it's a cool thing, and if the functionality is good, then it's beneficial. If it makes connectivity better, then it's beneficial. But I think the biggest place you're going to see it benefit is underground tournaments where they're console locked because, for example, we just don't have the time to police a PlayStation and an Xbox tournament. We can only run one a week. Yeah. So at the point at which you can run a one a week and get everybody on their preferred console, I think the quality of play goes up because guys don't have to, like, own both consoles. I think it's at that point it is, cheaper in theory. Yeah. Most of these guys own both consoles anyways.
Yeah, like, most guys do. Yeah, most guys do.
Most guys own both. Yeah. But, if you're a person that's just getting into it and you're like, I want to play in Friday Night Football, but I only have a PlayStation. Well, guess what? If you have crossplay, you're going to be able to play in Friday Night Football and play on the MCS and be happy. Now, you are still locked to, like, PlayStation, but it'll be interesting to see if crossplay is indeed functional and in competitive. It'll be interesting to see how the MCS does brackets next year. If they do just multiple day qualifying, or if they do just like one giant 4,000 person bracket for both consoles and say best of luck. That'll be interesting to see.
Okay. Well. Listen, I'll tell you what, we've gone past the time. I was gonna try to do like 35 minutes. We're sitting at almost 40 minutes, but
because we like talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Like I don't, you know what I mean. I don't trip on that, but I do have one more question here.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
hit me.
One more question. Who wins a game of Madden, Snipes or Mizzy?
What are the constructs? Are we playing in the CFM?
MCS style.
Ooh, a MUT game? Ooh. If I were to set the line right now, I'd say Snipes minus 3.5. I got you as a field goal favorite. All right, I think you got it. Here's the thing. I'll be dead honest. My Madden time has diminished more. Well, with the new baby, it's been harder to play.
Of course.
So I'm not quite as up to snuff. But I did play at our fandom Super Bowl party here in Scottsdale. I played Eli Mack in a game of Madden and lost on the last play. So I held my own against a Madden YouTuber who plays every day. So I still got a little bit of skill, but it's been tough, man. It's tough with a baby to get video games. I'm not lying.
You don't have to tell me that, man. I deal with it. I've dealt with kids for years. I get it.
Dad life, man. It's
dad life.
She has gotten to the point though where she's holding her own bottles now, and is fairly she'll go and sit in her little plaything for about 45 minutes at a time and be content, which means Dad gets to play a little more video games right now, which is fun. I don't have to hold her all the time, so we're getting there.
You know what? It's coming. The broken controller pretending that she can play too. That's coming, buddy. I'm just letting you know that ahead of time. I'm letting you know that ahead of time. So Nick, man. So I'll tell you what, Nick, man. Look, this was absolutely fantastic, man, and very informative. I'm sure it's going to be very informative to a lot of the guys, here that tune into this thing, because you put a lot of things in perspective that everybody out there has questions about in regards to that one word you hate that I'm not going to say it right now because you hate it, so I don't want to say it again. But then and most importantly, just informing people about MCS, what MCS is about and everything, and how these guys can actually get involved within MCS. And obviously we don't have the schedules or anything yet for upcoming Madden 24. But what I will say though is, or what I will ask here before we get you out of here, is you're obviously going to be there for Madden 24 and all the new hype and all the tourneys and everything else, right? You're still going to be in the building, right?
As far as I know, till they tell me otherwise. I mean, technically my contract ends in August. I work year to year, so I haven't yet signed my contract for next year. But
you ain't going nowhere.
Nobody told me otherwise. So I might. I mean, if they don't bring me back as a commentator, I might just try to qualify myself. Maybe I'll just go win a belt.
Go win $200K. I ain't mad at you.
Put me in, coach. That's a college thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm always around these Madden streets. I'm excited because we're relaunching the Madden Bomber League next year.
Oh, awesome!
So,
awesome.
We'll be back with some franchise stuff.
Hey, how can you know what? Before you get out of here, how can people be a part of the Madden Bombers League if they want to be?
Yeah, if they want to be, I am not in charge of applications.
Okay.
But I will say, if you are interested in finding out more, they're on Twitter at Bomber League. On Twitter at what is it at Bomber League? Let me see. They had to get a different Twitter, and they've changed names. So it is right now. I think it's Madden Bomber League.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well,
Let's see together.
And Mitch.
At the Bomber League.
At the Bomber League. Okay.
At the Bomber League on Twitter. We've made just some couple announcements and stuff, but obviously, as we get towards August, we'll start launching and whatnot. But
absolutely,
keep a follow over there. Obviously, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm just at Nick Mizesko. I'll have stuff about both MCS and the Bomber League, and
yes.
we'll see where it goes. It should be a fun year. Keep your eye out on the Madden League Ops Twitter. which is now Madden Championships League,
Yeah.
Madden Championship Series.
Yes.
If you're interested in signing up for the MCS, they will post, usually, again, they haven't announced the schedule, but assuming it follows sort of the same schedule as last year, there's going to be one around the kickoff of the NFL. So keep a look in August as the game comes out. If you're interested in competing, sign up. It's free to sign up for the tournament. All you need is a Battlefy account, as it was last year.
That's it.
And you can compete. So get the game. Guys, if you're interested in competing, get EA Play. Get those 10 hours of gameplay. It matters.
Yeah.
And other than that, hey, CFM guys, like, keep it rolling, because I'm hoping we'll get more news as we get through June and July. But I'm excited to see what CFM news there is and what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played in a full-time CFM since NBL really ended. Like, I played a little bit in a league called Apex, but that was like right when we were moving, and then I had a child. But I'm excited to get back into. CFM is. I have so much fun playing CFM, so I'm excited for that next year, and should be a great year, man. I mean, you know more than anybody, Madden launch season is as good to get, because it also means football season is around the corner,
exactly.
and that's better than anything.
Exactly, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, look, guys. With that being said, that's going to conclude the interview that we have here with the one and only Nick Mizesko. Again, thank you so much, man, for taking your time. You know what I mean? Your busy day. And obviously, taking care of the baby and everything else, man. Congratulations on the baby, by the way. And, and congratulations to the family and everything else. And man, and once again, continued success in the Madden and MCS commentary and everything else. And I really hope to continue to see you for years to come, rocking this MCS and keeping it alive and active, my friend.
I appreciate, my man. Anytime you want somebody to hop on, let me know. Maybe we can talk as we get around August time. And
We got to do something again, man, and talk about this, this upcoming Madden coming up. I'm definitely looking forward to you, once again, man, for sure. All right, guys. Well, look. With that being said, it's your boy Snipes. We're gonna get on out of here with, for my guy Nick Mizesko. I'm your boy Snipes. We're gonna get on out of here. You guys take care, be blessed, and we'll catch you in the next one. All right. Slide, folks.